I think this might be good for me. Would you be supportive? And everybody was like, hell yeah, come on. So it was really nice. And I felt really safe, coming back, and very lucky that almost everybody had open arms and was just really sweet.
And the person who didn't have open arms was?
Just, a young lady named Kathryn.
I mean, that's who I assume, but I hate to make assumptions. Well,
Yeah.
Craig said, like, you guys exchanged messages, and he was like a huge proponent of like, I think this will be good for you. I think this will be good for the audience, and just to see like
Yeah.
our stories. Like, how much did like Craig, factor into you coming back?
I mean, the whole reason that I even did the show the first time was because of Craig and with Craig. So it was really important to me that he was 100% on board with it, because I didn't want him to be uncomfortable or whatever. So that was very important to me, that he was like, yes, green flags, 100%, go for it.
How, now we're done, the season's coming out. How did season 8 feel different to you from the last time you were there? We have new cast members. There's a lot going on.
There was a lot going on. It was honestly a blast. We just had a lot of fun. Or at least, I mean, I think everyone else had fun for the most part. I just had a really good time. There were still some highs and lows and stuff, but all considering, it was just a really positive experience. And yeah, it was just really fun.
Well, fun is good. I mean, that's the sense I'm getting from speaking to some of your castmates. Out of, the people that were there before, like Craig and Shep and Austen and Kathryn and Madison, like people you've worked with in the past, who do you feel like has changed the most since you were here
I
last
think who's
time?
changed the most, and this is not in a bad way, this is actually in a really good way, is Madison. She's grown a lot, and she just seems to be really happy and has done a lot um, with the show, and like, just yeah, I think I would say Madison, and in a good way.
Are you shocked that she's engaged? I mean, like last time we saw her, she was linked to like A-Rod and Jay Cutler and all sorts of others. And here we are.
Yeah, I mean, life comes at you fast, so yeah, it was surprising, but I think it's a great thing. So.
I think it's a good thing too. Did you hear from, and we're obviously not going to dwell on this, but did you hear from like, look, and there's no judgment to anyone, like a lot of people, especially in reality TV, we see like there's infidelities, like people have had infidelities, and, a lot of people stay and there's no judgment there. But for you, it's like, to me, I totally respect the fact that, you get up and you come home. Did you hear from like a lot of like women just saying, like, to me, that's like a really powerful move,
Yes,
sincerely.
that was a big reason, because it's not, I mean, yes, I share things on reality TV and stuff, but there is a big part of my life that's very private. And that was like, whether someone had cheated on me or not, and like leaving, that whole process is a very vulnerable and like private process. And I got so many messages of encouragement from women, or people saying like, you helped me, walk away from a situation that was bad, or somebody that wasn't treating me correctly, or like, you helped me see my worth, kind of thing. And I'm like, me, what? But it was just really encouraging to keep sharing that. And I do talk about it throughout the season, because I think it's important for people to see, like, you can get totally knocked down, and you can be really down in the dumps in the way that I was, and work your way out of it. Like, there's just good things past the tough times.
Totally. And now you've had a fun season, so it's all kind of worth it.
Yeah.
How much were you like, not, I guess, trepidatious, or, talk to me about the Paige factor. Craig is with Paige. Like, how did that factor in? Like, were you nervous to meet Paige?
No, I mean, I was excited to meet her. I think that the Craig and Paige stuff got like blown out of proportion a little bit. I didn't realize that it was going to be such a storyline. But there's absolutely no bad blood between us whatsoever. I really like Paige. I think she and Craig are a really good match. I think they seem very happy, and I love that for him. There's nothing left, no matter what anyone might think or say or infer from the show. Like, that ship has long sailed with me and Craig, and we really are just good buddies at this point. And so I wasn't nervous to meet her or anything. I was excited, and I loved meeting her. And then throughout the season, I think it's unfortunate that a lot of people try to pin the girls against each other or something, when it doesn't need to be like that at all. So there were some awkward moments with me and Paige, but it just wasn't necessary. And I think she probably would agree. And yeah, I mean, I truly like, I'm very happy for them both.
Why do you think she's such a good fit for Craig?
I don't know. I mean, I think from what I've heard Craig say, that she just really accepts him for who he is, and it seems to be mutual. So if somebody accepts you for exactly who you are at your core, what is better than that?
That is true. And that is a good point. Like, why are we always pitting like two women against each other? Like, why is that the headline, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we see so many different relationships going on this season, and some like we know are in different state than when the season starts. Like, what's up with you? Anyone slipping into your DMs these days?
Oh my God. I think if anybody slipped into my DMs, that would be like an automatic filter out. The DMs are not not a good place. But yeah, I just keep saying like I'm very thankful for everything that happened, even though it sucked at the time because it put me in the situation that I'm in now, where I'm just like fully or becoming more fully myself and dating and just like living my life exactly how I want to without kind of worrying about what someone else is thinking or someone else is judging me for, kind of goes back to what I was saying. I'm happy for Craig for like that he's able to just be himself. I'm kind of at that point too. And it's just really nice.
So if someone wants to date, if all the eligible single men out there are listening, which there's probably one straight man listening to this podcast, but assuming that, well, I've been told there's two before. I mean, because I get the DMs that say, don't say there's one because there's two of us, but don't slip into your DMs. That's just not the way to do it.
No.
What is your, just if you physically, wanted to like look at Hollywood, like who's your type, just as far as like actors or musicians or whoever?
So I really don't have a type because I find somebody attractive like based on their personality. It could be the most attractive person. If their personality sucks, I'm like, you're ugly. But if it's somebody that might not be conventionally attractive or something and they have a great personality, I can think they're like the most beautiful person ever. So I really don't have a type.
That's so nice. What about, who do you think would be engaged first out of Craig, Shep, and Austen at this point?
I think Craig probably.
Wow.
Or no, maybe Shep. I don't know. I think what I think is gonna happen is that one of them is gonna get engaged and then the other one's gonna be like, oh, I better, get engaged, but better.
We all know how that works in this group between those three.
Yeah.
Well, look, the more things change, the more things, stay the same. We see like in the trailer, you tell Kathryn to fuck off or she tells you to fuck off. We see you get into some spat with Vanita. I guess we could say there is some drama coming this season.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming. Like I think this is the most that has happened throughout one season ever, at least like in the history of me being familiar with the show. I think it's gonna be a really good season. I hope.
What about, like we see like Craig get into this huge fight with Austen and like Shep get into this huge fight with Austen. I mean, like they've known each other forever. Like, does that type of stuff shock you?
The bare belly wrestling.
Yes, the bare belly wrestling.